All right, so September 7th, 1940, I'm on the London Underground, and unknown to anyone right now, today is the beginning of one of the most devastating periods in British history. In just a few hours, over 300 German bombers are going to tear through this city. If you hadn't already guessed, I've come to the start of the Blitz. In this video, I spend 24 hours in London on the first night of the Blitz. By using AI-generated visuals based on real historical images, I'm able to give you a first-hand experience of what life was actually like. All reference images were sourced from public domain archives. Enjoy, guys. Britain's been at war with Germany since September 1939, and for the past year, the Luftwaffe has been targeting RAF airfields, trying to destroy the Air Force before invasion, and London's so far been spared. Today, the bombers aren't heading for the airfields. They're heading here. Right now, it's just gone 9 a.m., and I've got about 7.5 hours before the bombs start to fall. The raids start at exactly 4:43 p.m., so let's explore some of the city while we still have time.
What are you standing there for, love?
Okay, so I was not prepared for this. Look at this weather. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. Clear blue skies, wall-to-wall sunshine. It was apparently 24 to 26 degrees on this day, which for London is basically a heat wave. So this is central London on a Saturday morning in 1940, and it is honestly just a really nice day. People are out enjoying the sunshine, going about their Saturday, but I'm going to start making my way east today toward the docks, which, as it turns out, is exactly where I shouldn't be going. Excuse me, sorry to bother you. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Has life changed much for you since the war started?
Not so much round here, love. Germans haven't touched us yet, have they? RAF seeing to that. You fancy a coffee?
I'm good, thanks. Just get somewhere safe this afternoon, yeah? Didn't think I'd be getting asked out whilst I'm here, but I'll take it. Look at all the sandbags. They put them everywhere, anticipating the bombings from day one. People just walk straight past them like they're part of the furniture now. So I'm going to spend the morning exploring the city while I can. Next stop, Westminster. I want to see Big Ben before the day takes a turn. 20 minutes according to Google Maps. Not like they had that here, though. There it is. Big Ben. Still ringing every 15 minutes. It never stopped throughout the entire Blitz. Also, not sure if you noticed, but there's a lack of young men out here. Enlisting started in 1939, and if you were between 18 and 41, you were called up. Going overseas, not knowing if you'd ever come back. So this is what people are reading on the morning of September 7th, 1940. The government want to make it seem like everything's going in their favor, and I mean, I understand it in terms of keeping morale high, but from tonight onwards, that morale is going to be tested like never before. Excuse me, sir, aren't you worried? With everything going on with the war right now?
Been through far worse, darling. I was in the trenches for the first one. Far too old for all this rubbish now. A good cup of tea's all I need.
Brave or just very British? I'll go with the latter. All right, leaving Westminster now and heading east toward Tower Bridge. The Germans used the Thames as a navigation guide tonight, flew along the river straight to the docks. Essentially, I'm walking towards the target right now, like an AI with a death wish. The things I do for you guys. Tower Bridge was painted what they called battleship gray just before the conflict to help disguise it from enemy aircraft. And that floating thing? A barrage balloon. They were tethered across London to prevent low-flying enemy aircraft. Given what's happening tonight, they're going to need them. Over there are the docks, the heart of London's trade. On a Saturday like this, thousands of dock workers are down there, unloading cargo, going about their shift. The raid starts at 4:43 p.m. Some of them will still be clocking off when the first bombs fall. Perhaps early enough to escape just in time. I've been standing here for a few minutes, just taking it in. This is one of those moments in these videos where you know something bad's going to happen and the people around you have no idea. And there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Looks like the camera's attracting some attention. The West End, Westminster, Tower Bridge, beautiful parts of this city. But here's where most people actually live. Packed terraces, corner shops, kids in the street. The docks are the target tonight, but these streets are right next to them. There's barely any separation. It's just gone 3 p.m., just under 2 hours until the sirens. I keep looking up at the sky. It's still completely clear. Beautiful, actually. Nobody's looking up. Why would they?
Who are you talking to, love? You sound like a right nutter.
Hey there. Finishing up soon?
4 o'clock, love. Why'd you ask?
Just make sure you get home sharply, yeah? Don't hang around.
Why is that then? You got a crystal ball or something?
I tried, right? Listen, that's the air raid siren. And look at people's faces. They knew this day would come. They just didn't know it was today. All right, time to buckle up because things are about to escalate real quick. Oh my God, that's them. That's the first wave. There are more behind them. I knew this was coming. I knew exactly what day this was, and I still was not ready for this. I thought I'd be close, but not this close. The bombers are right above us now. Nearly 350 of them, the largest air raid in history by this point in time. And they are heading straight for those docks. The whole sky is just full of them. That's the docks. Timber yards, warehouses, fuel storage, all up in smoke, and there are helpless people in there right now. The ground's shaking each impact, and the smoke's already blocking out the sun. I've read about this so many times. 430 people are going to die tonight, nearly 2,000 injured. And this is just the beginning. They did this for 57 consecutive nights, all over the city. No one was safe. These aren't the docks anymore. These are people's homes. Whole streets in the surrounding area just gone.
Are you up there? Get back inside now.
Yeah, he's right. I'm far too close to this. It's been over 2 hours since the first wave, and they're still coming. The bombing doesn't stop until 4:30 in the morning. That's 8 hours of this. I need to get underground and wait this out. I don't know where I'm going. I just know I need to get away from there. The whole East End is on fire behind me. Gotta keep moving and find a tube station. I just ran across Tower Bridge in the middle of an air raid. Not so sure many people can do that and live to tell the tale. Let's go find some shelter.
You shouldn't be running about with all this going on, love.
I'm just trying to get to the underground. Do you know where the nearest station is from here?
London Bridge. 5 minutes. That way if you run. Be safe out there.
Thanks. You too. The government actually tried to stop people sheltering in the underground to begin with. They were worried about a shelter mentality, people refusing to come back up. But when the bombs started falling, the rules went out the window.
I'd get down there as soon as possible if I were you.
And honestly, fair enough. It's quieter down here, but you can still feel it. Every impact, a deep rumble through the ground like the earth itself is shaking. People are just lying here, waiting, not knowing if they're going to have a home to go back to in the morning. Are you doing all right, madam?
Oh, I'm fine, love. Had worse than this in the last war.
Mind me asking what happened?
Lost my husband in 1917. More worried about this little girl's dad this time round. He hasn't written home in months.
I've been down here for hours now, and I keep thinking about that woman, her husband, 1917. 2 world wars in one lifetime. I don't know how they did it. I genuinely don't. Sunday, September 8th, 1940. The first morning after. 430 people didn't make it through last night, 1,600 more injured. And in about 12 hours, the bombers come back for 56 more nights. People are already out here, looking for their things, checking on neighbors. These were their homes, and yet nobody's crying, nobody's panicking.
What else are we meant to do? Surrender? Not in a million years, love.
I see what they mean by the Blitz spirit now. These guys have been out here all night. While we were sheltering underground, they were up here, in this. The London Fire Service attended to around 1,000 fires on the first night of the Blitz. 1,000. This was a street yesterday. Houses, shops, people's lives, all of it. This is what a single night of bombing looks like. And they came back and did it again, and again and again.
How'd you know that then?
Here, love. You look like you need this.
Thank you, that's so kind. The old man from yesterday said a good cup of tea sorts most things. Standing in the ruins of the London Blitz, I think he might be right. Churchill ordered that St. Paul's be protected at all costs. He knew what it meant to people, what it represented. Although it took hits throughout the Blitz, it remained standing as a symbol of hope and defiance. The idea that London couldn't fall. The dock workers who were here yesterday, some of them didn't make it home last night. And that worker I spoke to, 4 o'clock, he said, finishing at 4. I really hope he listened to me. All in all, over 43,000 civilian lives were claimed across Britain in the Blitz, and London was bombed for nearly 2 months straight and never surrendered. I think that says everything you need to know about this city. Time to go. Thank you, London. What a ride, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a pretty heavy one to create.
It all worked out in the end though, didn't it?
Only thanks to people like you. You want to see us out?
Don't forget to like and subscribe to The Girl before you go.
See ya.